Hello there and welcome back to a robot named Fight. Last time I managed to make it all the way to the Mega Beast, the presumed final boss, although I wouldn't be surprised if there was content behind even it. But unfortunately I couldn't find that out as I died. I got pretty far though, so I'm hoping I'll be able to make it this time. Now let's see if I have a new starting screen. And the answer is yes. That's good, I was getting a little bit tired of the old one. And hopefully this indicates that the level generation for this run will be at least a fair bit different than what I've seen previously. I've unlocked enough upgrades, extra items that I can now obtain, that I'm hoping things will proceed a little bit differently. Only one way to find out though, and there is a hidden item back there as I thought. Where are you, my friend? I think I see. Nope, that wasn't the spot. Maybe somewhere along the wall? No. Oh boy, I gotta tell you, I'm already missing my little explorer drone. He was so helpful. If I find another merchant offering him, I'm going to pick that dude up immediately. Seriously, that was probably the most useful upgrade I had. Of course, that's not going to do me much good if I die immediately, which I might if I keep dropping into spikes. Let's try and do a little bit better here. So, I wonder what the first upgrade I'll pick up will be. If it'll be one of the old standbys that I'm used to, or something new. Okay, well, that answers my question. With a phase gate here so early on, it's pretty clearly the phaser. Or whatever it's called. I really gotta get their actual names down a bit better. Nope, I want that bit of health. Don't you disappear. Now I've seen this one before, so I should know where this item is hidden. Let's see if I remember it correctly. Yep. Blue RKX scrap, useful when I eventually get to a merchant. I wonder how the procedural scrap placement works along with things like merchants. Like, are you always given enough materials so long as you find them all to make all purchases? Is there a chance to get excess? Is there a chance to get not enough? That's the kind of thing I'd only be able to suss out after enough runs, of course. Hold on, there's a hidden thing here, but it might actually be on the ceiling of the lower room. The squares marking an item in a room aren't always one-to-one. Oh, there it is. I guess it was just hidden, yeah, in that little bit of wall. Sometimes it'll end up marking a upgrade in a room, but it'll actually be accessed from a room adjacent to it. So you do sometimes have to employ more finely honed sleuthing skills if you want to find an upgrade. Given how I fared against the Mega Beast, I'm now of the opinion that I really can't forgo any upgrades. Even just minor stat ones. All of the ones I picked up in my previous run contributed to how well I did against the Mega Beast. And even with my experience with it, I think if I were to forgo a lot of those upgrades, I would probably do much worse. So I will still be fairly thorough on this run. Because, however, that will mean me going through pretty much the same content with the same fine-tooth combed as I did last time. I may end up employing a fair amount of judicious editing here, for your sake. We'll see. Alright, so I was mistaken. My first upgrade wasn't the wave beam, phaser, whatever the fuck it's called. That would allow me to get past that first barrier I encountered. Oh, so many projectiles. Instead, it was the arachnomorph, which lets me get past here. So, if I recall, what was behind that firstmost barrier in the previous iteration was one of those toggleable items, you know, the nanomachines, the celestial mode, etc. So as soon as I pick up a phaser, assuming I'm not too far away at that point, I think I might actually backtrack to there, and see if that's a consistent thing. Not just to find out that, but also, if it is a consistent thing, to pick up one of those upgrades. In my previous run, I didn't get any until I was a fair ways in, and they were very useful, so It'd be nice to have one. That's a nice reference. What a terrible night for a curse. Rather on the nose that. It would be nice to have one earlier on to make more use of it. I wonder too if I fought all of the bosses up till this point, or if there are still some I haven't encountered. After all, in the previous run, among the total bosses I fought, there were a few absentees that I had fought in previous runs. So there are clearly more bosses than will ever be generated in a single run. And I wonder at this point if that extends to me not having found them all, or if I have found them all. Oh, I've seen you before, and you are perhaps the most pathetic boss. Literally just spam at it from the corner, wait for it to waltz over, shoot its little minions that it spawns. And then when it gets close enough to the left, just jump up, and you're fine. In fact, given how soon it retreats from the wall, you might not even need to jump up. Let's test that. Yeah, nope, you don't even need to jump up. That is one pathetic boss. Well, I should call it what it really is, a mini-boss. As far as I've seen, the only true boss in the game is the famed Mega Beast. And yeah, I'd say it's tough enough to be called a proper boss, that is for damn sure. I feel like heading this path will be better. I'm trying to rely on my memories of the previous one's generation, which, I'm gonna be honest here, aren't great. But I feel like this is going to lead to a dead end with an upgrade. And the other path is progress. Let's see if my memory is correct. Oh, well, it's kind of a moot point because I don't actually have a path up here. Is this instead... Okay, this is the path to the Mega Beast. I'm gonna keep that in mind, or I'm gonna try to. I'm curious how early I can actually access the Mega Beast. Previously, to do so, I needed to get all the way through the destroyed city. Oh, wow. This is a very early save station. It keeps all my progress, so I might as well save here immediately in case I have an untimely death. I guess it was just unlucky generation last time that caused me to not run into one until the Foundry. But, oh, what was I talking about? That's what I get for interrupting myself. Right, I had to get all the way through to the destroyed city in order to pick up the celestial jump that I needed to access the Mega Beast. And I'm curious if that was simply the way things were generated last run, or if it's actually possible to get whatever upgrade you need to access the Mega Beast earlier, and thus have the option of fighting it early on before you've picked up a whole bunch of upgrades. Because one thing I have heard from the developer is that apparently if you're an especially speedy sort, you can get through a run in around 30 minutes. That's less than half of the time I took to get to the Mega Beast on the previous run. And with that being the case, I feel like you'd have to be able to access the Mega Beast earlier than I did. Ooh. This is a big upgrade room. What's in here? Hey, found that dash. Alright. So that barrier I previously came across is going to be solved in short order. Plus, having this dash early on should be useful if I can actually get to using it properly. I was trying to dash up here, because when you dash in the air it gives you a little bit of vertical movement. I think it gives you a bit of extra momentum in whatever direction you're currently moving, yeah. So if I do so while on the ascent of my jump, I rocket up. If I do so a bit later on the descent, I go more neutrally / downward. I like the functionality of this dash. It works in a way that I've not quite seen a dash in games before. Most games, if they do have a button-operated dash, usually make you dash forward a set distance. They don't actually give it any sort of physics like this game seems to. That is not only an interesting way of handling things, but it also allows you to go through the areas more speedily. If you can use that boosted momentum to your advantage, you could end up rocketing through most of the areas. I'm not going to manage that though, because I know that if I try, I'm only going to end up hurting myself. But it is there as an option, if you're feeling particularly spicy. I don't know why I approached that flyer so close. I knew nothing good was gonna come of it, but I did it anyway. I am the fool. I am the Tommy Wiseau. Okay, I can just do this one on the floor and it'll work. And there's the merchant I've been waiting for. Alright. I don't have the red scrap for this, so... Oh wait, I don't have the scrap for either of these, damn. I need to return either with a green scrap or a red scrap. I've seen this gun before. Which gun is this? I think that might be the electricity gun? It's hard to say. Definitely a worthwhile arm to have, so I will want to return there. Oh god, this is, that was not a great situation to be in. I could have handled that better, but in my wildest dreams I never expected to actually get stuck in the wall like that. Then again, perhaps I should have, considering how poorly polished this game is in a lot of places. It's a weird thing where this game has a lot of polish in the overall movement. All the gameplay mechanics and the procedural generation and all that work very well. But the overall stability of the game and the lack of glitchiness is very poorly polished. It is very unstable, as I've shown off, and there are a lot of glitches. I guess the developer focused more so on the core gameplay than the overall stability. Whether that's a good decision or not, that's up to you, because it does give you a rather poor introduction if you're running into all of these glitches. But at the same time, if you're willing to forgive it for that instability, and are willing to wait for it to get a little bit better, it does give you a very promising experience. I mentioned that before, the fact that I was continuing to play and enjoy this game because of how well designed the gameplay was, how good things feel to do. Even just to move, to shoot, it feels very enjoyable. Oh, this looks to be another drone buddy, and I think it's of a type I've not seen before. I'll have to pick up another blue scrap if I want that one item from the previous merchant, but I have no idea how long it'll take to pick up a green scrap, so I might as well purchase a thing while I can. Oh, it's not a drone. This boosts my pickup range. I picked up this upgrade before, didn't I? I guess I forgot. And I'm pretty sure that number 2 indicates that this will be a map for the Foundry, in which case I will absolutely be picking you up. Yep, oh sorry, I've been calling it the Foundry, it's actually the factory. That's a fair mistake, I'm close enough. So with that, I now have a good way of proceeding through the factory once I eventually get there. I'm being positive by saying once and not if. I imagine the maps aren't really necessary, but just being able to path out a more effective route is a nice convenience to have. And speaking of conveniences, or shall I say inconveniences, we get a boss. A boss that I should probably do to not take damage from enemies before facing. Wow, that was the worst stuttery, gobbledygook mess of words I've ever said. And if you've listened to a lot of my stuff, you know I've said a lot of gobbledygook. Alright, let's try and just break this one and then shoot this boy from afar. There we go. Alright, let's see what my second boss is. Oh, it's Vomit Man. I just had a thought. This was the only sub-boss I didn't see during the Mega Beast fight. I wonder if that's just because of its large size, or the fact that it has to be affixed to a wall, or if I just didn't get far enough in the fight to see it. Alright, so it seems that the Vomit Laser is only triggered when I actually step down there. Yeah, the priming mechanism, the flashing lights, only start flashing when I actually drop down there. So as long as I do so right before the hand reaches me, I'll have time to jump back up. Fortunately, I no longer have to worry about that, as I have said no to the hand. I'm good at hand-to-hand communication. And that's it for this beastie boy. Kinda wish I had picked up tech scrap instead since I was at full health, but oh well. I guess this game doesn't use that weighted by convenience pickup generation that I talked about, that the Metroid games use. Okay, now I have the phase shot, now I can backtrack to that one place. I would say, if not for the fact that I do have to actually get back to the first area, which isn't currently possible. That wasn't the case in any of the previous runs as well, so I'm guessing that you can only get to that first branching path, or get through it rather, after making all your way back around through the previous areas, which is a bit unfortunate. Oh well. Ooh, there's an item in this previous room here. I missed that twice over. How embarrassing. In fact, I can see exactly where it is. Or not, huh? I should stop saying that. I think I know exactly where the item placements are, but I'm not always 100% correct. There's usually a few potential choices. There we go. Yeah, there shouldn't be anything hidden in these rooms over to the left here, but I still want to path them out. I'm probably going to return here later, but I don't know for sure that I will. And if I'm going to be picking up everything, I might as well get 100% map completion as well, right? Yeah, it's just an alternate path down here. Ooh, this is a room configuration I don't think I've seen before. Or maybe I have, now that I think about it. The unique number of rooms in this game do seem to be a fair bit limited. Not to the extent that it's overall a detriment, I would say, especially given the short length of the game. But still low enough in variety that I am starting to notice a lot of repeats. So hopefully I actually win on this one, because outside of maybe unlocking a few extra upgrades, I don't really think there's much else I would have in terms of content in this game. So if I were to do a whole bunch more runs, it would just be the same thing over and over, and that would get old rather quickly. Almost as old as searching for this stat up. Where are you, my friend? As always, all I had to do was ask. Rate of fire, nice. Although, I'm not sure how useful those rate of fire upgrades are. I think they boost your firing speed, period, but I'm not sure if they actually boost your speed when you're mashing it. Because if you notice, if I just hold the button, it shoots with this tempo. If I mash, it shoots with this slightly faster tempo. A little bit of skill you could employ there to get better DPS. And I'm guessing that the rate of fire upgrades both of those. It allows you for more mashing potential as well as just boosting your rate of fire when you're holding it. But it could just be boosting the rate of fire when you're holding it, and the mashing speed is entirely dependent on you. I'd only ever be able to figure that out if I did a whole bunch of testing, which, spoilers, I'm not gonna do. So that's something I am unlikely to ever figure out.
20 minutes later.
Okay, yeah, and I answered my question from before. The rate of fire upgrades upgrade both your standstill and your mashing. But it's something I was wondering about. There's that red tech scrap. Unfortunately, I also needed that blue one along with it and some more basic scraps, so I'm gonna have to wait before I can utilize that. Okay, no, I'm pretty sure this is going to take me to the Foundry. I was thinking the previous path would, which is why I backtracked down to here. But now I'm thinking that other path is just an extra upgrade, so I'm gonna head there first. Sorry for my wishy-washiness here with progression. I am trying to do things efficiently, but I feel like in pursuit of that, I'm actually doing things less efficiently than I could be, just due to all the extra backtracking. In fact, I'm almost certain that's the case because that's usually how Metroidvania games go with me. I end up being so indecisive at the paths that I want to go down that I end up taking more time than if I had just focused on the initial one I had chosen. If you've watched me play Hollow Knight, you know what I'm talking about. Hold on, where is this last hidden thing? It's not one of these, is it? No, it's a bit too far south to be the case. I hit both of these, right? Yes. Just gonna be a random one in the floor or wall. Yep, exactly. And see, this is what I mean by the placement being a bit odd. I guess that's technically part of the upper room, but from where you are on the screen, where you are indicated on the minimap now, it looks like it's a part of the room below it. So that's something you have to keep in mind when searching for these random stat-ups. Oh no, this is taking me to the Foundry now, I'm pretty sure. Okay, well, I'm not gonna backtrack again, I'm just gonna continue on this way. I'm gonna actually listen to my own advice for once. Shocking, I know. Let's see, this will probably be a barrier of some sort. Yes, but it's a barrier I can actually get past. I was expecting it to be an impassable barrier for the moment. Ooh, I think there's a big upgrade up ahead. Yes, are you flame shot? Oh, aura bolts. I made pretty good use of you last time. And now this time, I'll get to see just how good you are on your own, because I didn't pick up this upgrade until I already had the splitting shots last time, as well as a few other upgrades. So here, with nothing else aside from the phasing shot, I'll get to see exactly how useful these are. I think the only thing they actually do is increase the area of damage of your shots. So it's not a huge boost by any means, but just being able to intercept enemies and bullets more frequently, I think that's worthwhile, especially combined with my phasing shots. If I can manage to get piercing shots as well, if that's a thing. I remember finding that at some point, but I don't remember if that was a base upgrade or an alternate weapon. But if I can get that on my default, I'll have a pretty good source of fire. If I get the opportunity to pick up these splitting bullets, I might actually forgo that. Simply because part of the difficulty I had dealing with the Mega Beast last time was all the chaos on the screen. And as I noted that time, I was a major contributor to that chaos, due to all these splitting bullets. Now, I'm still not sure if I should forgo that because, while looking back at the footage, I noticed a lot of bullets that probably would have hit me, but were intercepted by my splitting bullets, so even if I had a harder time telling where stuff was, my splitting shots were still aiding me by getting rid of a bunch of projectiles anyway. So it's a hard decision to make of whether to go with that or not. Of course, that's assuming that I even get the opportunity to pick that up in the first place, which is not guaranteed. You know what, let's continue with the Foundry here. It's not an area I've really done to death at this point. I've only successfully gotten through it once. And I had an unsuccessful run where I got around halfway through it once as well, so I think it would do to show my path to this area. Oh god. Such as me screwing up with these new meatballs. Ugh. So I need a fire damage source at that previous barrier. So that is a consistent part of the generation. Oh dear, I remember encountering your enemy type before, a possessed robot. You are free, feral soldier, I was saying, fellow soldier. Similar words if you have the whole R-L mix-up, which you'd think I wouldn't have since I'm a native English speaker, but somehow my dumbass brain finds a way. Hold on, where is this hidden item? There it is. So I picked up some green tech scrap now, so I could head back to that previous merchant. But at this point that's far enough away, I'll just wait until I loop back around naturally. But yeah, as I was saying, the overall level generation, I've done it enough. Okay, don't just dash my way through those. I thought that might be an effective means of taking them out without taking damage. It was not. I took a lot of damage, and I think I'm right about to encounter a Spanus as well, if my memory serves me correctly, so I would like to pick up some more health before that. I might farm these enemies in lieu of that. But yeah, so I've been correct enough with my assumptions about the level generation that it does seem like a lot of the elements are fixed, and the only thing that varies is the very particulars. So upgrade rooms, for example, are always at the same spots, as are the barriers for other upgrades. The only thing that changes are the particular upgrades and the particular barriers for those upgrades. And that is a little bit disappointing. When I heard rogue-lite Metroidvania and when I first started playing this game, I was imagining a situation where every run would have a different path to progression, but so far that doesn't seem to be the case. I'm proceeding through the Foundry much the same as I did previously, and even the map as indicated by the minimap seems pretty much identical to how it was previously. Same with the cave and the initial area as well. It is possible that there is variability and that I simply randomly run into a pretty similar seed, but I'm thinking that there isn't as much variability as I initially thought, and that is unfortunate. Alright, let's see, is there gonna be a Spanus in the room below? No, okay, so enemy generation at least can be a fair bit different. I'm pretty sure I had encountered a Spanus prior to now in the previous 2 runs. So that gives me hope that there is more random level generation possible. Oh, there's an upgrade up there that I just completely passed by. Let's go get that. Oh, and I would have been such the fool if I had missed this. A health upgrade. Those are probably the most important upgrades. At least for me. I end up taking enough stupid hits that I really need the ability to face tank my way through stuff. Hold on, how am I supposed to proceed here? Oh, wait, I see. No, okay, it's not a tunnel. I'm shooting all the walls. I have no other way I can proceed. Oh, there we go. It was one of those crumbling platforms that you have to make physical contact with. Oh no, it was a shooty, I just failed to shoot at the correct spot. Okay. I was just being a dummy. Fair enough. Okay. Here we got Yoku blocks again. I don't think I've seen this particular configuration before. I am not a fan of that, I'll tell you straight away. Kind of unnecessary since I've made that fact quite clear before, but okay, here's the Spanus. Oh dear. Right, I gotta proceed forward very quickly here so I can actually start dealing with it. I'm picking up a fair few health drops and my shots are quite powerful. I was able to take out those brain chasers pretty quickly. Quicker than in my previous ones, I'm pretty sure. Which does make me think that maybe this area upgrade for my basic weapon also provided a damage boost. Ooh, bright shell. That's both a good thing and a bad thing. A good thing because it's a useful upgrade that makes my character look cooler. I like the white look of this armor. A bad thing because it indicates that I'm going to have to deal with darkness, which is one of my least favorite mechanics in most video games. Some games handle it well, but on the whole I'm not a fan of it in general. So, kind of a mixed bag that. You know what's not a mixed bag though? Picking up a damage upgrade, yeah. Okay, I'm about at the boss, so let's see what's gonna face me. Ooh, did I ever see elevator lifts before? I don't think I did. Well, if I did, it was infrequent enough that I don't quite remember it, so that's a nice new feature. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I should head downward. I see a merchant down there that might be useful. And making myself as powerful as robotically possible would certainly help me against the boss. I'm probably not going to have much trouble anyway, but you never know. I very much thought I will have trouble because I ended up picking up another like 2 or 3 damage upgrades on the way here, so I should be pretty fine, but it doesn't hurt to be safe. Alright, so I'm gonna need a high jump to get past there. Maybe that's what I'll pick up from after the boss? If so, then maybe I'll be able to access the Mega Beast right away. If I can, I'm probably not gonna do that simply because I kind of want every upgrade possible so I have the best chance of surviving, but it might be an option, which is interesting. Alright, let's see what I can purchase here. I can purchase any of these. No, except for this middle one, which seems to be related to health, so that's disappointing. That might actually be some form of health regeneration, so ooh. That's gonna be worth backtracking for if I pick up that blue artifact. I have enough base tech scrap that with just a little bit more I'll be able to afford everything here, so I should feel free to pick up everything. This is one of the drones, definitely. I'm pretty sure it's not a helmet. So yeah, let's pick up both of these. An orb that explodes. Okay, that's a new drone. And I believe this is the buzzsaw weapon. Yep. Oh no, it's a buzz orb, an orbiting buzzsaw bot. Okay, I mean it does make sense. He was saying he made meat-destroying orbs, which suggests options, but I was thinking that maybe he just considered the discs fired from the saw gun to be orbs. When you're on a 2D plane, it's hard to differentiate between a sphere and an orb after all. But no, he was actually talking about orbs options. I wonder how much damage that does. Is it gonna be like a Binding of Isaac meat cube situation, where with one of those, if you just stay close to an enemy, you can end up shredding them to mulch? Or is it just gonna be more so for blocking shots? Okay, well that answers my question from earlier of whether or not there were more bosses, because I've never fought you before. Are you gonna... Yep. I knew that signposting. I've been playing video games for over 20 years. I know that flashing like that means you're gonna start a crazy-ass charge. Okay, so far you seem kind of easy. It seems that you charge more frequently as you get lower in health, but it's an easy enough to avoid path that doesn't really mean much. Yeah, that was kind of pathetic. Hunter Killer has been unearthed. Yep, so new boss and new upgrade to be unlocked. So even if I do fell the Mega Beast, I might continue on anyway. If only on my own time, just to see what other unlocks there are. Okay, Flamethrower. That means I can get past those fire barriers, that's good. Sadly, it not being a high jump means I can't get past that one barrier below just yet. I'm gonna have to backtrack later. Although I'm used to that at this point, so meh. Oh yeah, this weapon is so effective. And it's pretty efficient on the energy consumption, honestly. I only need to fire it a little bit and it consumes such low energy per second of firing that, yeah, this is an effective method of taking down a lot of enemies. Especially since it ends up effectively piercing. It's not blocked by any of the enemies it hits. This is a good find. I have gotten the Flamethrower before, but I never played around with it too much. Alright, well, let's proceed onward to the destroyed city then. It's about the only place I can go. I could do some backtracking, but I'll leave that for later. Yeah, I might just stick with the Flamethrower and see how long I can keep using it, relying on random energy pickups and the base energy regeneration that I seem to have. So far, it seems to be working pretty good. I think I'll only end up taking out my primary weapon, my basic weapon, for searching for upgrades. Alright, I'm back here at the destroyed city. Okay, we have faster chases now. I don't remember encountering these. It might just be my poor memory, of course, but I think they're actually a new variant that I haven't seen before. So that's nice. Okay, one bad thing about the Flamethrower is that I am somewhat more hesitant to fire it than I am my basic gun because it is limited. And that does result in me getting hit by enemies a bit more often just because I'm not killing them as efficiently. That's just something I have to work on as a matter of personal preference and personality though. It's not an actual problem with the Flamethrower, it's with how I'm using it. I wonder, can I hit these switches with the Flamethrower? I can, interesting. I like that crossover utility. You don't just need the phase shot. Okay, well, we have two bosses here, that's not great. You don't just need the phase shot or a weapon specifically with the phasing properties in order to get through one of those switches. Okay, I'm gonna die here, shit. I don't think that lower guy can hit me though, no, not when I'm here, I can just cheese him to death thankfully. Yeah, I did not handle that encounter well. Having two bosses to deal with and not being overpowered was not something I was especially prepared for. I'm not gonna head back into the previous room to farm for health because then I'd have to fight those bosses again anyway. I'm just gonna hope I encounter a health pickup or something. But yeah, it's nice that the Flamethrower ends up serving double duty in that regard. Okay, well, this one is over, I would say, if not for the save station. Oh yeah. Of course, that's my one use of it, and I'm probably not going to encounter any more save stations. I was kind of hoping to save it for the Mega Beast, so I'd have 2 attempts on this one, but it seems, due to my own ineptitude, that's not going to be the case. Well, if nothing else, at least this gives me a chance to do some slightly earlier backtracking. I can... having a hard time speaking. I can get back to these earlier merchants right away and pick up their upgrades, and hopefully that'll help me avoid dying this time. As long as I get 1 attempt at the Mega Beast this run, I'm pretty satisfied. Alright, so what exactly did you have? I don't remember exactly what it was. Oh no, okay, so I can pick up this alternate weapon, but not whatever this is, and that looks like it might be some sort of armor upgrade. I feel like I've seen that icon before, but I don't quite remember what it is. I do have plenty of red scrap, but I'm actually kind of low on the basic tech scrap, so I'm gonna avoid making that purchase for now. Just because I would want to make that more expensive one, and I want to make sure I don't run out of tech scrap, since that still might be a possibility for all I know. Okay, well, time to make it back to the destroyed city. So I had an idea. Rather than backtracking the way I'd gotten to the destroyed city initially, why not head down this vertical path that I forgot? I'm not sure what the proper form of that word would be, but that I had chosen not to go down. It's blocked by a flame barrier, which is now no longer a barrier to me. So that's an interesting bit of design. They placed the save room early on, but as long as you manage to make it at least to the destroyed city and have the ability to access it, you end up having a shortcut back to it, a quicker entrance from the cave system. That's pretty cool. Now hopefully it doesn't turn out that I'm barred by something else here, like the space jump or whatever. That doesn't seem to be the case though, which is fortunate. Oh, wait a minute, what the heck? So it said this was an orb that explodes, right? And yet, it's still performing the exploring function. So this little drone buddy is serving double duty. You are one hardworking drone, my friend. I'll check in with HQ after this successful run, and see if I can't get you upgraded to a full-on robot body. Wow, all this green scrap, and all I want is a single piece of blue scrap. Okay, do we have a proper upgrade in this room over to the right? No music change, so nope. Oh well, I'll take rate of fire. Okay, yeah, and I answered my question from before. The rate of fire upgrades upgrade both your standstill and your mashing. And it seems like they upgrade the, just the holding the button more so than they do the standing. So if this is as fast as I can mash it, and this is just holding it, and it seems like it's actually caught up a bit compared to mashing it. Alright, so here we are in the destroyed city from the opposite end. Let's see how this works out. Okay, it works out by immediately encountering a boss. I'm gonna make use of these platforms and the fact that I have the phase shot and just kind of cheese you from afar. I don't even know if I'm always striking you with bullets, but I would prefer to take the safe and slow way than the fast and risky way. Of course, I have to watch out for accidentally heading back into a previous room. Whoops. I guess this spot isn't completely safe like I thought it was. So I just gotta avoid jumping up too high, that way even if I blast open that door I'll be fine. I'm not sure how it opened up though, I'm pretty sure enemy projectiles can't do it. I must have hit it with an errant shot by mistake. Okay, well that's one thing dead, so I'm fine with proceeding. Not all the way through though, there was still stuff there I wanted to check out, and now when I head back in there, I'm gonna have to deal with that mini-boss again. Ugh. I'll do that later then. Let's just see where this path takes me. Have I seen that eye enemy before? I think that's a new one. Oh, and we have an upgrade, Heat Shell. You can now survive hot rooms. Nani? Also, its icon was very similar to that one upgrade the merchant was offering, so yeah, that one upgrade probably was an armor boost. But yeah, I've never encountered a heat room before. So even if the overall path for progression is similar from run to run, it does seem like I am constantly encountering new variables, so that is nice. Oh, and I think I know exactly where a heat room is. Given the little symbol on that upper door there, let's see what that place is about. It's about heat. In fact, there's a boss here. Huh. Let's see what you're about. Yep, you're new just like I thought you would be. Alright, hopefully I don't die here. So I wonder if this boss, if it's just for unlocking some new items, or if I'll get an upgrade beyond here that will actually allow me to access the Mega Beast. It doesn't seem like I'm gonna have much trouble with you though, because you have a rather tiny HP bar. You know what though, he probably has a second phase, he's gonna explode, yep. Okay, no, he just lost his hard outer shell, good. You have to de-shell the creature before you cook him up. Some people like to cook them in the shell, but that just tastes worse, in my opinion. This phase doesn't have much health either, and yeah, if that's it, that's actually not that bad of a boss. But I now have the Royal Orb. The Vorb, if you will. Or I'll have the ability to have it next one at least.